Yo, we back with it, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Who am I with T. Murray, man? I got a special guest tonight, man, on this 2-for-1 Saturday, man. Y'all already see how we do it, how we doing it. Now, as y'all know the name of the platform is Who Am I with T. Murray. And as we do with every episode, man, we always let our guests, let the folks know who they are, man. So with that said, man, go ahead and let them folks know who we got in the building tonight, man.
I already know who it is, man. PlugBabies, man. PlugBabies Media Group, man. Shit, we've been gone for a little while, man. Just mapping everything out, seeing how everything is. But we back now, cooling it with Who Am I with T. Murray, man. T. Murray, big dog. Y'all know what it is, man.
Yes, sir, man. So we finna get into it, bro. Now, this is a special one for me, you feel me? Because, we rocking in a real way, a different type of way, you feel me? But we gonna take them back to the beginning like we kind of always like to do on the platform, man. So we gonna go all the way back, man. Take us to the beginning. I'm talking about before PlugBabies, before the media, all that, man. Let's start back home, man. Tell me about childhood, shit like that, man. First of all, where you from, bro?
Shit, man, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey, man. The slums, man. Patterson, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I grew up there since I was 8 years old, man. Moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the age of 9 years old. And, I've been back and forth from there to Orlando, Florida, man. As a child, man, I've been running wild, man, getting in trouble and shit like that, just trying to find my way out here, man, running the streets and shit like that. Lost a couple friends on the way, but as I said before, man, like back and forth through Orlando to Myrtle Beach, where I grew up at, and I ended up just, being placed in Orlando where I'm at right now.
For sure, man. And let's take this walk. Take us through at the time you was there living, coming from Patterson, you feel me? And then the transition from Patterson to Myrtle, you feel me?
Yeah, so Patterson, New Jersey, man, like, shit, man. Shit was rough, man. Like, I grew up in a house. I grew up in like a 2-bedroom house, man, with about 10 people living in the same household, you know what I'm saying? I went to a school called School 5, where we had to walk to school. We didn't have no buses and shit like that. We had to walk to school and shit. And basically, man, like, shit, even like staying in Patterson, man, I had a best friend that got stabbed, got killed and shit, just seeing, walking with my bigger cousins and shit to school, seeing robberies and a whole lot of shit, man, at a young age and shit, man. Even like, walking on the street, man, like just seeing crime scene tapes and shit like that, like, and I guess my mom, I grew up without a father and shit like that, but I guess my mom, she thought it was better for me to move to Myrtle Beach. We had roots in Aner, South Carolina, which is maybe like 30 minutes from Myrtle Beach and shit like that. My great grandmother, she grew up in Aner before she moved to Patterson, New Jersey, and married her husband and shit. So we ended up moving back to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, man. And Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, it was okay, it was okay, but I ended up moving like on the outside of Myrtle Beach, which like 15 minutes away, to Conway and shit, and that's where I pretty much grew up. But Conway, Myrtle Beach, kind of like the same thing and shit like that. But I ended up growing up in that area, you know what I'm saying? And since then, man, I just been trying to find my way, honestly.
Yes, sir. Just tell me about that though. Like you coming from, like you say, you coming from Patterson. You know what I'm saying? You watching at a young age. You watching your little partner. You getting stabbed up and killed, shit like that. And then on like a fast up north pace, then you moving to the south. You feel me? Like Confederate South type shit. You feel me? Like, what kind of change was that? You feel me? And just seeing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like moving to the South, man, like Honestly, all right, so shit, I ended up moving to the South. Uh, it all, I mean, my grandmother and shit, she ran like a housing authority and shit. So, when we first moved here, you know, we had a place to stay, you know, cause she ran the housing authority and shit. So, you know, we stayed in public housing. I stayed in public housing with my four siblings and shit. You know, I'm the oldest. Basically, you know, I pretty much like to play sports and shit. I played basketball, football, mostly basketball. You know, I went to school. I did good in school. I always wrote music. I always wrote poetry in school. That was my thing, man. I looked up to like DMX, Tupac, especially DMX. Like being up north, you know, I listened to a lot of DMX, Tupac. I kind of got a hold of Tupac when I moved down south. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like the same music. You know, basically when I moved down south, you know, like I never stayed in trouble. I always been like a good kid and shit like that. You know, I had long hair and shit like that. A lot of females used to fuck with me and shit like that. I guess you could say like, you know, like me just being like a person like the females would get attached to, you know, that kind of got to my head and shit. You know, a lot of dudes like kind of like attached to me and shit. So I end up getting involved with like the street life and everything like that. I had one dude, man, shout out to my dude Jason Brown, man. He ended up dying in a house fire, but I had that was one dude that tried to keep me out of trouble, you know. That tried to keep me out of trouble, man. Tried to keep my head straight. He schooled me on like playing pool. He taught me how to play pool. You know, we used to go to the skating ring and it's pretty much, you know, hustle people out their money and shit. And one day, you know, I was at school and shit, and I got the news that he died, and that kind of like put me more into the streets and shit, because I felt like I ain't really had nobody after that. You know, shout out to my mom. You know, I don't mean to say like I ain't had nobody. You know, she always been there, but you know, like growing up, you know, with 5 kids, you know, she always been working and shit, so she could barely like, you know, pay attention to what we had going on, but. That's what it was, man. Like, you know, I lost my homie Jason Brown. After that, you know, I ended up losing a couple more homies and shit. You know, pretty much, I pretty much lost everybody, man. I grew up with.
You know what I'm saying? Long live them, for real. So, is it kind of safe to say that's what? Going through all that loss, you feel me, and so young, you feel me, is that what kind of made you like think, you know, had to sit down with yourself and be like, man, I gotta transition out of this street shit?
Yeah, man, cause like, even like I say, like I end up losing everybody. Man, and how I transition out of the being out the streets and shit like that, man. I end up getting into some trouble, man, but that shit ain't really had nothing to do with me, man. Like one of my partners ended up going to like a little club, man. End up getting stabbed up, man, and every day for like 2 months, man, he was on the couch, bro. He slept on his mama couch in the front room, man, and you know, every day, like I used to bring him food, you know what I'm saying, and just bring him something to drink and shit like that, you know, just try to see him back on his feet, you know. And there's a couple homies from the hood that did the same thing and shit, man, but I would say I was more like attentive to like what he had going on and shit. So so once that happened, man, like once he got well enough, man, like we was on some like retaliation shit, man, but I really didn't want to go, but I had older homies, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, from the hood and shit, like basically on some shit like, you know, like, man, we need you to ride out with us and shit. So
I'm gonna stop you right there on something you said, bro, because you was like, you older.
Yeah.
What was it that made you feel that type of? Because that's something that, you know what I'm saying, as we talking, you feel me? That's something that people don't talk about, you feel me? That's super relevant in what's going on right now, especially with the young generation, you feel me? Where people feeling like they got to do certain things or step a certain way. But what was it in that made you feel like that? You know what I'm saying? That yeah, I gotta. You feel me? I got to go on this mission. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Like, honestly, bro, like, just growing up, just being in that environment, man, like, I felt like they had my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything I went through, like, my mama, she was there, but, you know, I wouldn't say I was raised by the streets, man. And, like, I picked up little shit from everybody that was around me and shit, you know? So I felt like it was my duty, really, to, like, you know, like, just to be there for my homies and shit at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, as I was saying, man, like, once he got well enough, man, we end up, like, trying to be on some retaliation shit, but I really didn't want to go, but, you know, I felt like I owe him something. So, I ended up going, man. We made a pit stop, you know. We made a pit stop at a restaurant, you know, at a little Burger King and shit like that. And once we made that pit stop, man, like, everything turned for worse, man. Like, I had a hothead homeboy and shit, you know, that he seen some dudes in the parking lot, man, and ended up trying to rob him and shit. And it didn't go good, man. And the police came out there and all kind of shit, bro. So we ended up getting locked up. So I ended up doing like 18 months in a juvenile correctional facility. So once I got out of there, man, I ended up meeting my wife, man. And once I met my wife, I went to the Army and shit like that, man. And once I went to the Army, man, I just turned my life around.
That's real, dog. Being that you said, you know, after you did them 18 out the road, you found your wife. You know, and they ain't the biggest Bible person. I don't go to church on every Sunday, whoop, but I do know that them folks always say, boy, when you find a wife, you know, they know how to complete the sins.
Yeah, for sure,
Once a
man.
man finds a wife, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that, man. Just being a married black man in America, you feel me? Because I think that's something important to talk about, you feel me? Because, you know, that's something, we don't glorify that really. We don't talk about that really. Niggas really just, everybody hanging out, you feel me?
Yeah. All right, so, man, like, the marriage life, like I say, man, like, I ended up getting married, like, that shit was okay. That shit was okay, man, for the moment. It was okay for the moment, man. So I ended up going to the military, man. Like, you know, basic training, like 9 weeks. You know, going to basic training for 9 weeks. Then you go to your advanced training for whatever you sign up for, your job title. I ended up doing that shit. Once I did that shit, man, you know, throughout me being that, me training and shit like that, you know, we wasn't married at the time. Now, I'm just saying, like, I found my wife then, but we wasn't married at the time. Like, we got married, like, maybe like 2 years later after me joining the Army and shit. So I joined the Army in 2010. We got married 2012. So while I was in the Army and shit, you know, like, I basically found my lady then. But while I was away, you know what I'm saying, like, I guess everything was so fresh and shit like that, you know. She did her little thing, you know. She did her little thing, man, you know, messing around and shit like that, you know. That shit kind of fucked with me and shit like that. But once I got home, after I did my training and everything, you know, everything was okay. Ended up going overseas, man, for like a year. Came home, man. We put everything back together, man, and I ended up like having a newborn and shit. My daughter, she was born like premature and shit, so we went through like some more complications in our relationship and everything like that. But, you know, being married, man, it was a good thing. It was a good thing, you know.
I want to talk about that because while you saying that, you also talking about the trial and tribulation, you feel me, that you went through and, you know, had and kept on going, you feel me? Because they do say when you sign up for that, is till death do you part, bro, through sickness, health.
Yeah, so that's the thing,
through
man.
Disagreement, through infidelity.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand, man. Like, you know, me and my wife been married since 11 years, you know what I'm saying? 11 years straight. We never really been apart from each other, you know. But throughout the years, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, shit ain't been perfect. Like you gonna, whenever you get married, man, like you said, what I'm saying, to death do you part. Like you're gonna go through a lot of cheating. You know what I'm saying? Both parties gonna cheat. You know what I'm saying? And if the female be like, oh, like, cause they like to say like they don't cheat, this and that, but bro, they cheat. We don't know about it cause they more better at hiding shit. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna go through that. Like being married, you know what I'm saying? What I figured out about being married is like, the thing is like, once like you decide to get married with somebody, like you pretty much like decide like, like that's gonna be a forever person. Like you're gonna go through shit. Y'all both gonna cheat. Y'all both gonna do some crazy shit, but it's like this, like, is that the person you want to be with for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? Because like you could go out and start a whole nother relationship with somebody, you're gonna go through the same shit. So is that the person you want to actually go through shit with and forgive? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and keep going. So that's what you gotta, that's what you gotta make up in your mind.
You really, like, how I see it, like that's the person you on the front line with. Like y'all both putting each other's life in y'all hands.
Yeah, for sure.
Straight up, bro. I like how this going, bro. I didn't even know this was gonna go like this, but I like this. This is what Who Am I with T Murray about. The real, you feel me?
The real shit, man.
The real, bro. Like I like how this going. You feel me? Now, going from that, how we got to Plug Babies Media Group. How that started. What was the inspiration, motivation, and what was the thought process, like take us through all that, how we got we just walked through from the beginning, teenage, going into adulthood, going through shit, and now we married, all that. Now we getting ready to build Plug Babies Media Group, man. Tell us about that.
For sure, man. Like, so basically, so I ended up moving to Florida, you know what I'm saying? We ended up moving to Orlando back in, like I said, me personally, I always been back and forth, but we ended up moving together as a family, me, my wife, and my daughter. We ended up moving down here, man, 2018, man. So first, before I even say that, 2018, Mother's Day 2018, man, I ended up getting saved, man. I ain't gonna lie, I was at my worst in South Carolina, man. I just felt like, like everything was going downhill, man. Like I was making the bad decisions, going back to my old ways. So one of my homies from the Army and shit, he been found Christ and everything like that. So he ended up baptizing me, man. And so August, so that was in May 2018. So August 2018, we ended up making it official, man, and moving down here to Orlando. So once I moved down here to Orlando, we end up staying with my peoples and shit, cause we just moved down here. We ain't really had no place to go. So we ended up staying with my mom and my sisters and my brother and shit like that. And we stayed around the corner, man. We stayed in Forest City area and shit like that. It wasn't the prettiest of the area, but shit, when we first moved down here, man, shit was crazy, shit kind of remind me of Patterson, like I was seeing like crime scene tape at least like twice a week and shit like that, man. So so anyway, man, like I ended up meeting the plug, man. And I had to like try to make a way somehow, So I ended up selling some shit, and after that, shit, I ain't trying to really say too much, but damn, I end up like, find the plug on some gas and shit, and I end up like, trying to trap shit out for the moment and shit. So after a while, man, like I end up like trying to just go straight, and just I end up going to school at Full Sail, and try to do like the recording arts program, because I always been interested in doing music, but shit ain't really work out like that. So after that, I was like, shit, I don't know, man. I just been trying to really like just, you know, trap my way out and scam my way out, man. The best way I could, man. I was trying to fit in with what was going on down here, man. And I end up like coming up with Plug Babies, man. Like I really don't even know how I came up with it, to be honest. Like I just know like I want to say maybe I came up with it when I was trapping and shit, man. Like well, I come to think about it, I did, because I remember I was trapping and shit. Like most of my clientele was like escorts and shit like that, you know. I remember I met this one escort and shit. Because one thing about me, man, like I don't really judge nobody, because I know everybody got a story and shit. So rather they trap, rather they sell their body, rather they do whatever they do, man. You know, like I know everybody do it for a reason, but most people do it for a reason and shit. So basically, I ended up running to this escort and shit, this dude and shit. You know, like I said, he sell weed and shit. So I found out he could draw, because one day I went over there, you know, went to go drop him off some shit, and the dude, he had like drawings on the table, and I'm like, damn, you draw? And he was like, yeah, I draw. So I'm like, shit, can you draw me out something that say Plug Babies? And he was like, yeah. So he hit me up later that day. He was like, bro, I'm done with it. I'm like, shit, you done with it already? So I was like, shit, you know, I'm kind of busy right now, but I'll come pick it up tomorrow. So the next day came, I went to him, you know, pick up the paper he had for me, you know, and shit. Plug Babies was originally supposed to be like a fucking I was gonna use it as like a marijuana type company shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically like when I picked up the paper and shit, man, I was like, damn, this shit fire. And then I thought about it, I'm like, damn, so you know, I just dropped out of Full Sail, you know, but I always like to watch music videos on YouTube and shit like that, and I be like, damn, I got like a different idea for what I see. So I'm like, damn, so I might as well like do videos and shit. So I invested in getting a camera and shit, and then I end up like looking for like people that could like pretty much like just redo my the image that I got drawn up and shit. So basically after that, damn, I found like a graphic designer locally. So I went to him, man, and he drew it up for me, man. And ever since then, man, it been a go.
Yeah, cause I'm gonna get on the backstory of how, you know, me and you linked up. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
So, you know, you was doing your thing, moving around the city, like out the mud, you know, on your camera shit, pulling up all the showcases and shit like that. And you had to undid some shit for a couple artists that I was fucking with, but still fucking with, you know what I'm saying, following in the city. And when they shit came on, when they was promoting it on their page, off the rip, when I the baby crying, then when you hear the baby crying, you looking at shout out to the graphic guy who did that too.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to him. Shout out to where it originated from.
Oh yeah.
And then getting transformed all the way in the flesh with it. When you hearing that, when it come in, it's just like it's like a brand. You feel me? Like when Drew filmed it, if Drew didn't film it, it ain't filmed right. You know, whoever you know, you feel me? You already setting the tone with the shit. So when it came, I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? Who the fuck is Plug? You feel me?
Yeah.
How I go again? What Jit say? What you was saying to Jit?
Shit, that's my son, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I came up with that shit like one day, I was just in the house, man, and my son, he was 1 years old at the time, man. Like but shit, honestly, bro, like everything.
Keep on talking though, cause we gonna turn on Bluetooth and go to this, cause they gotta hear this shit.
Yeah, everything.
They gotta hear what I'm saying,
man. Shit, everything just fell in place, man. Like my son, like bro, I was in the house one day, and my son, like the intro, man. Like my son was just like a thing he had, like a thing he loved to do, man. Is like every time I plug something up.
Yeah,
I'll plug my game up or plug my phone up in the wall and he'll unplug the cord, bro. And then one day, I just had my phone on record and I unplugged the cord, bro, and then I plugged the cord up and he unplugged it, and I'm like, bro, I said, bro, you unplugged the cord again? I'm like, bro, that's bad. I'm gonna start calling you plug babies. And then I was like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna put that shit with my graphic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey,
hook
your phone up to the
bro.
Bluetooth, bro. Hook your phone up to the Bluetooth and just you can go to any random, just anywhere where the intro come in, bro. Cause like I said, they gotta hear what I heard, that because the way it come in, you feel me, and we gonna show them, you know, they gonna see the picture. They already seen the picture in the beginning, you feel me, when they watch this interview on the edit, you feel me.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know we came in with the logo off the rip. We had to do that. We had to do that, you know what I'm saying? But from there, you know, now I gotta go see who this is.
You unplug the cord again? That is bad. I'm gonna start calling you plug baby.
Come on, man. That shit was too glass, you feel? And then while you watching that, you're looking at the graphic.
Yeah, so that's
and it just everything about it just is 1 + 1 = 2, bro. It made sense. It wasn't nothing to think about.
Yeah, like I said, man, everything fell in place, man. That was just me, like, just being home with my son and just bullshitting around, man. Like, not even bullshitting around, but like I said, he had a thing where he'll just, every time I plug something up, he'll just unplug it. And that's just what I said to him, man.
Yeah.
And when I said it to him, like, damn, this shit fit perfectly, man. But
the light bulb went on.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. Like, with myself, man, like, I'm a firm believer in God, man. So, like, every move that I make, man, I just feel like God just really making it for me, man. So, everything just fall in place for me, man. So
that's hard.
Once I heard it, man, once I played it back, I'm like, damn, you know, it just fit.
For sure,
we just roll with it, man.
So, you know, from that point, you know, I reached out to you. You feel me? And you started doing your own homework on me and shit. And, you know, this is me as TME Murray, not who am I with T Murray. You feel me? What was the first thing we did? Was it the vlog? The first vlog?
Yeah, we did a vlog, man. Shout out. First of all, I want to say shout out to Monster Slick. Shout out to the whole Monster Squad, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Monster P, man. Monster Palmer, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
That shit. Yeah, shout out to them boys because, like, that was the first showcase I ever did, man. When I went to that showcase, man, and, like, bro, I just knew they were stars, man, when I first seen them, man. Yeah. So, salute to them, man.
And again, a part of the backstory, I'm telling them right now, that's how I got to you. You feel me? You know that, You know, that's my guy. And that's somebody I had already been rooting for, you feel me? And he was charging up. Because I met him on some other shit, you know, we was, you know, on the play, you feel me, getting to the paper. You know what I'm saying? Down south in my area, you feel me? And we were just kicking shit, and he was like, yeah, bro, I rap. So he started running it down to me in the hotel, you feel me? I'm like, damn, boy, it's just you hard, boy. Then, you know, we went our ways, but once we both went and crunk up how we crunk up, you feel me? You know, the road led right back.
Yep.
Bruh see me on, you know what I'm saying, on off the Star. Just sliding through and stop. Boy, and we hadn't seen each other for like, I say about 2, almost 3 years. That boy just passing through it and just, the dog looking crazy where I'm at. He like, what the fuck going on, bro? Like, he reversing the car. Murray.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, look, we all in the middle of the street off the Star.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, like, yeah, I'm cranking back up. Woo, a little bit after that, vlog, plug babies, you feel me?
Yeah, shout out to them boys, man, because, you know, shit, that's how I really got my foot back in the game. Well, in the game in the first place, because I ain't really been doing the camera shit. But, yeah, like I say, man, that was the first showcase I went to. Also, shout out to Cold Milk. Yeah, because that was like one of the best showcases I've been to, for sure.
Shout out, bro. You know, Cold Milk, I already know what it is. If they ain't watch it already, you know he on season 1. I want to say Cold Milk was by episode 4. You feel me? We doubling back in a quick minute too. You feel me?
Yep, and shout out to DJ Rel, man, because he was a DJ that night. DJ Rel and I forget the other DJ, but shout out to you too, man. It's a female, but she doing her thing too, man. Yeah, but shout out to them, man, because they definitely did their thing that night. But yeah, man, whenever you hit me up, man, I did my homework on you, man.
Yeah.
And like I fuck with your music, man. Like your music is hard as hell. So
I appreciate that.
for sure. Like and I don't really, like I said, I don't really fuck with everybody, but it just gotta be like something about you that I fuck with. And when I heard your music, man, when I heard your music, that was it. That's all I needed to hear.
For sure. And then, you know, from there, we definitely started going up. We definitely started, you know what I'm saying, moving, motion, you feel me? You put me in a lot of motion, you feel me?
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I kind of decided, like, man, we need, cause you know, I shout out Junior Gang, you feel me? Shout out the whole team, man. Darko Films, Born After Summer. I was like, man, we need to just put this shit all together and make this shit make sense, you feel me? Cause you know, everybody snapping on how they snapping, you feel me?
Yeah. Definitely shout out to Junior Gang, man, because as I said before, man, like Junior Gang, he was the first like cameraman. Like before I even started doing this camera shit, like I was looking up people from around the area. Soon to Be Rich Films, like
Shout out Soon to Be
yeah,
Rich.
yeah, Soon to Be Rich. He okay, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with him too, but my personal favorite is Junior Gang, you know what I'm saying? That's really like cameraman that I looked at and I really studied their work. And also, like I said, big shout out to him because every time I hit him up, you know what I'm saying, on some shit, like trying to figure out something, he always like there to help me out, you know. So shout out to you, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing, man.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So we just kicking shit, man, on this interview, Plug Babies, man. So, you know, you also talked about how you kind of fell back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Kind of in the middle of the motion, we finally getting it somewhere, and then you kind of took a step back. You feel me? You know, tell us about that. You feel me? Take us through that.
Yeah, man. So I had to take a step back, man, because my wife ended up catching cancer, man. She ended up having cancer, man. You know, stage 3 cancer and shit. So it been a lot of I was dealing with that shit, man, and really, man, like I had my foot back in the streets, man, but I thought it was a better option, man, to pick back up the camera, man, because you know, I got a 3-year-old son, you know, and a 9-year-old daughter, man. So I had to make the best decision for them, not myself, you know. And I felt like that was the best decision, man. Instead of like picking up a pack, man, I'd rather pick up a camera, man, and figure it out because, you know, I'd rather be out here with them, you know. I'd rather be broke, if anything, you know, if anything go wrong, you know, and I fall flat. I'd rather be that than to be in a prison or in the grave, man. So that's what I ended up doing, man.
You said something, now.
Oh yeah.
You said something, I don't know. You know, the Who Am I with T. Murray audience, don't let that go over your head at all.
Oh yeah. Might have to run that back, you know what I'm saying, and see what I said. But like I say, man, like that's an important thing, man. When you got kids, man, you can't really think for yourself no more. You know, you gotta think for your kids, man. Make the best decisions, man, for your kids. You know, so I know without a doubt, man. You know, I could have, you know, made money doing other things, you know, but that wasn't the best thing for you know, my family and shit. It could have been the best thing for me, but it wasn't the best thing for my family. So you know. Yeah.
You said something again when you said that too, boy. Trust me now.
Yeah.
So, you know, you had to regroup, you know, revamp, you know, you had to get your strength up, you feel me? Because you fighting with your wife, you know what I'm saying, dealing with cancer. But then, you know, we getting through that. But soon as you pop back out on scene, it ain't take long, man.
Nah, it ain't take long.
It ain't take long, man, because let's talk about it, man. You know, you was just at Dro Fest, you feel me?
Yeah, Dro Fest, man. Shit, shout out to you, man, for plugging me in, man. Shout out to I4 Music Group, man, for you know, allowing me to record a artist, man. Shout out to 613 Twissy, a dope female artist from the city, man. Like, she definitely next up. I mean, I want to say she up right now, honestly, but you know, she definitely up right now. 613.
Let's just talk about that, like coming off of the, you know, sitting down and then, you know, because most people when they go through stuff, whether it's that or anything, you feel me, like, okay, I'm finna try to restart again, like, you know, they gotta, you know what I'm saying, they gotta start really, you remember that episode of goddamn Martin? When he was at the DMV trying to get the license right with Sherman Hensley, and he said, "Where's Scratch?" And he pointed way back there. Yeah, like, but you just right out the gate, you feel me? Like, as soon as you stepped in, you came in, all new equipment, big upgrade.
Oh yeah.
And then you right back on the scene, man. Tell us about that, man, because you know sometimes too, like, people ask for shit or think they want shit like, yeah, I want to be a rapper, or I want to be an engineer, I want to be this, that, and then you get the stage to do it, and yeah, you fold. Some folks fold when they get what they ask for. You know what I'm saying? Like they say. So tell us about that. How you just like. It wasn't no like, okay, I got time to scrimmage and practice a little bit. Like, yeah, as soon as I came back in, yeah, it's right back to work for real. You feel me?
Oh yeah, man, shit.
Like you just did it last night type shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, like shit, you know, as I said before, man, I felt like, you know, that was the best option for me. Shit, you know, I pretty much, you know, been working like a regular job, man, and even with my wife going through cancer, you know, we got to kick out extra money for all kind of extra shit, you know. So damn, you know, I just took what I had, bro. Like majority of what I had, man. I just invested in new equipment, man, and yeah, that's how I did that, man. You know, it was all or nothing for me.
That's real. And a lot of people don't know what that take, man. When you all the way believe in yourself.
Oh, it's gonna take everything, man. Like, if you believe in yourself, man, like you gotta invest in yourself, man. Like this a thing. Like, it's a lot of artists out here, bro. Like, people want to half step. You can't half step with this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying, bro? We got one life to live. We only got one life to live. So I look at it like this. Like, you know, if you say you want to do something, do that shit all the way.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it one day, or you can't wake up one morning and decide you want to do it, and that afternoon or the next morning you decide like, okay, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
You ain't got time for it. I don't feel like it. You gotta feel like that shit all the time.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that shit.
Facts. So before we get out of here, man, you know, we've been sitting down for a minute. You know, this definitely ain't gonna be the last one for sure.
Oh, no, ain't the last one,
You know,
man.
you a lifetime member over here, man.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get out of here, man, let them know where to find you at. Let them know what you got coming up. Let them know what you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Run everything down to them.
Man, yeah, so y'all know what it is, man. You can find me on YouTube. Shit, man, just type in on Google, man, PlugBabies Media Group, man. You can find me everywhere, man. YouTube, Instagram for sure. Shit, man, we got a lot of shit we working on, man. And this one thing I want to shout out, I want to put out too, man. Like, I'm gonna put y'all on game for a little bit, man. Like, a lot of artists, man, like y'all doing music for the streets and shit like that, man. Like, y'all gotta think of bigger options, man. Like, I'm just telling you, man, cause this some shit I'm working on, man. Like, y'all put out music for the streets and shit like that, man. Like, start submitting y'all music to these film productions, man. Like, these movies and shit like that, man. Like, you know, you ain't really gotta be signed, you ain't gotta be famous for them to use your shit, you know. And start putting your business in order, man. So that's where I'm at with it right now, man.
Talk to them, man.
That's where I'm at with it right now.
Talk
For
to
real,
him, man.
Like, you know, I did a lot of research, man, before I decided to hop back in, man. So, yeah. So I'm working on a bigger platform, man. Something bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Something bigger than the whole team, man. So, you know, that's where we at with it right now, man. I don't want to give out too much game, man, but what I just said, man, y'all need to focus on that for sure.
Yes, sir, man. It's always, as you know, it's been and always is an honor and a pleasure, bro, to rock with you, fuck with you, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Who am I with T Murray, man? Plug Babies.
Yes, sir.
I already know what it is. Let's rock.